After a year of controversy in the wake of longtime Jeopardy host Alex Trebek's passing, America's favorite quiz show has come back stronger than ever for its 38th season. Some are crediting that winning streak, at least in part, to the current reigning champ, Amy Schnieder, an engineering manager who, as of tonight, has 39 wins in a row, making her the second all-time Jeopardy winner behind none other than Ken Jennings.
What is cosmonaut?
Yes.
Russian 2000. What is Sierra Leone?
That's correct. Amy?
What is peaches into cream?
Yeah.
Word pairs for?
Amy?
What are property taxes?
Right you are. That's a personal best, $71,400. Certainly gold medal worthy, and a 37-day total of $1,253,200. If there's a Jeopardy Olympian, you are one of them.
Amy has also banked more than $1.3 million in winnings so far, and she joins us now from her home in Oakland, California. Welcome to the show, Amy. Thanks so much for talking to us tonight.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So it's certainly hard for me to imagine a winning streak like yours. This is something that you've dreamed of from a young child, and even after you tried out COVID, then delayed your appearance. At the time, what did you think the best possible outcome would be if you were able to make it on as a contestant?
I mean, I guess the best possible, it could have been anything, but what I was really expecting, and I told everybody this, I was like, I think if things go well, I can win 3 or 4 games. That was sort of the number that I had in mind. So yeah, obviously I was underselling myself.
Clearly you were, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger as far as the amount of money that you've won and the number of wins as well. So we are cheering for you. A lot has been made about your skill on the buzzer, which is clearly key to winning games. For those who don't know, contestants actually have to wait until the host finishes reading the clue before they are able to ring it. Otherwise, they are locked out for a few seconds. So how have you done this, mastering the buzzer? I hear you, in part, you kind of practice on a pen. Is that right?
That is correct. Yeah. I mean, I did practice with a pen at home and did my best to be, timing it to right when the host finishes and everything like that. But, you don't know until you get there how it's actually going to do. The at-home practice can only do so much. And in my very first game, I was really, not struggling, but just not quite right on time where I needed to be in that first one. And I suddenly just decided to kind of throw out all the preparation I'd done and just kind of stop thinking about it and just sort of go by instinct. And for whatever reason, that worked. So, I don't know if that's advice that'll work for everyone, but that's certainly what worked for me.
It's kind of some good life advice there. Sometimes we just have to go for it and not think about things too hard. One of the most frequent questions that you've been asked since becoming a Jeopardy champion is, how did you get so smart? You even wrote an essay in which you talked about what being smart really means in the real world versus smart in answering Jeopardy questions. So how would you differentiate the two?
Well, I think, Jeopardy requires knowing a little about a lot. I mean, I think you look at just a month or so ago, they had their professors tournament. And I think that anyone who's a college professor is definitely arguably smarter than I am, for sure. And they did fine at Jeopardy, but they didn't dominate at it because they know a lot of stuff about some very specific things. And I think that's kind of probably more useful in the real world. But Jeopardy really rewards having a real breadth of knowledge. And that's what I have, because I'm just curious about everything, and I want to learn about everything that I can.
And you've, of course, already broken a lot of records on Jeopardy, but there's one first that is particularly meaningful. You're transgender, and while you aren't the first trans contestant on the show, you're most certainly the most famous. Do you ever think about the significance of 20 million viewers watching you every night?
I absolutely do. And especially with Jeopardy, I know reaching an older audience that is, maybe not as, has maybe not been as exposed to trans people before, knowing that for a lot of them, I'm going to be not necessarily their first exposure, but kind of, their first kind of sustained, almost non-political one. And so I was very conscious of really wanting to put my best foot forwards and represent myself and my community as, just the ordinary people that we are.
And you were very active on social media. On Instagram, you comment on each of your show outfits, tag the designer, and you aren't shy at all about repeats. And on Twitter, you break down your game strategy after each win. Has there been a downside to being so accessible?
I don't really think so. I think, I knew that like I was going to be, out there in public, and that there was going to be some negativity heading my way. And I think that was going to happen regardless. And I think that being sort of accessible, trying to bring people in and trying to let them get to know me more than just what they see on the show, has brought, more positivity, more engagement, more connection that has helped drown out what little negativity there's been.
And at some point, of course, your current winning streak will end. Could be way down the road, but certainly there's a lot coming up. You'll be competing against former champ Matt Amodio in this year's Tournament of Champions, and you'll be receiving a special award from GLAAD, among other things. Will you go back to being an engineering manager, do you think, ultimately? What does the future hold for you at this point?
I'm not sure, but I mean, this is an opportunity that's not going to come along again in my life, to have both, the attention and the interest in different things. I'm kind of talking with some people about maybe writing a book. Maybe there will be some other projects that will come along. And also having the financial security to be able to take a chance on trying a new career path. So I'm, waiting to see like what seems, potentially worth that risk, what seems really exciting and interesting. But if something like that comes along, I'm definitely open to taking the chance at it.
Well, all the best to you. We will be watching. Amy Schnieder, thank you so much for joining us. And you can see how long Amy's winning streak will continue on Jeopardy, which airs weekdays. Check your local listings.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.